Om Asmadgurubhyo Namaha. Krishna Rakshatu no Jagatraya Guruhu. Krishnam Namasyamyaham. Krishne Namarashatravo Vinihataha. Krishnaya Tasmai Namaha. Krishna Deva Samuttidam Jagadidam. Krishnasya Dasosmyaham. Krishne Tishtari Sarvametadakhilam. He Krishna Samrakshamam. Jai Srimanarayana. With blessings of Sri Chinna Swamiji, we are continuing chapter 5 of Bhagavad Gita. We finished sloka 15. We'll start with sloka 16. I'll share my screen. Hope you can see sloka 16.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please chant. Jnanena tu tadajnanam yesham nasitamatmanaha teshamadityavat jnanam prakasayati tatparam. Let's chant together. Jai Srimanarayana. So Lord Krishna is continuing. Tu jnanena tu, he's saying. So tu is but. So he's saying, but yesham atmanaha, of whose atmas, tat ajnanam, that ignorance. We saw in the previous sloka, the ignorance is caused by the karmic bondage, right? Karmic bondage is concealing the knowledge of the pure Atma. Okay, so that karmic bondage, which is concealing because of that ignorance, jnanena nasitam, that ignorance, jnanena, by the knowledge, nasitam, is destroyed. So, but, so in the previous sloka, Lord Krishna said that knowledge is conceived by the karmic bondage. And because of that, we are deluded. Means we are thinking that we are body, not Atma. So that ignorance, how is it going? That is going. That is destroyed by the knowledge of the self. Okay. So yesham atmanaha tat ajnanam jnanaina nasitam. Tesham, again, of those atmas. Yesham is of whose atmas. I mean, of whose. Okay, atmas, the ignorance is destroyed by the knowledge. Tesham, of those atmas. Tat param jnanam prakasayati adityavat. Adityavat is like sun. Prakasayati, illuminates. Tat param jnanam, that supreme knowledge. Okay, that supreme knowledge of the atmas, when it is when the ignorance is destroyed by the knowledge of the self, that supreme knowledge illuminates or shines like a sun. How sun illuminates light all across, so brilliant, right? So comparing the knowledge of the Atma to the light of the sun, that brilliant, that illuminating. Okay, you can imagine. So that entire knowledge that our Atma has, imagine if the sun is covered by something and you can only see a little bit of light, right? So if you remove that cover by the knowledge of the self, then, and of course, knowledge of the self and practicing that, practicing uh, karma yoga, um, the that light, that knowledge shines. Okay. Um, so um, basically, as we gain knowledge, as we continue to practice the karma yoga, we get better and better. And with that, we basically eliminate, or we can slowly start removing uh, the the cover that is covering the our knowledge, and that is karmic bondage. We continue to eliminate the karmic bondage, and our knowledge shines. Okay. So one very, very important, it looks like just another sloka, but there's absolutely one hidden secret in this, that people may miss. That is, Lord Krishna used the word, plural word, when he refers to Atmas. Okay, Yesham Atmanaha, Tesham. So that is those of whose, right? So um, Atmanaha is Atmas. Okay, so it is not one Atma pervading all the bodies. It is individual Atmas, independent, independent in the sense, or distinct, I should say, not independent, distinct Atmas in each of the bodies. Okay, so these distinct Atmas, each of them are carrying their own karmic bondage. There's no relationship with other Atmas. Okay, it's not like he is my son or daughter. Let me take some karmic bondage from that person, right? Or I'm this person is the enemy, so let me give that my karmic bondage to that person. It is not possible like that. It is what we individually are kind of earning. This earning or losing karmic bondage is individuals, not it cannot be shared, basically, no matter how related they are to us, or unrelated they are to us. So, I mean, even the previous loka, it is little bit unclear. What is this? We cannot remove, we cannot gain, something like that. That about the punyam and papam, right? It is basically that I am distinct, okay, and my karmic bondage, which is papa and punya together, that I cannot give to somebody or take from somebody else. It's not like we give money to somebody or take loan from somebody, or repay the loans of somebody. It's not possible at all. Okay, so these distinct atmas are, you know they're all equal. We will learn in the next sloka, but very, very important to understand that it is directly mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, and Lord Krishna mentioned that we are all distinct atmas. Okay, so now he has to explain further, right? So okay, now um, we understand that we are all, our bodies are all different. Now, our atmas are also different. I mean, like, one let's say it's a brown rice compared to Sona Masuri rice or a basmati rice. All look different, right? Look and feel different. Is it like that, or it is? uniformly, like you cannot distinguish at all when you place two pure Atma side by side, right? In all characteristics. So we will understand that. That's the immediate doubt somebody gets. So that's why Lord Krishna is going to explain in next few slokas. Okay, so basically our enemy of our knowledge is the countless karmas that we are carrying from ages. We don't know when the time even started. There's no starting time actually. Then that karmic bondage that we are carrying is concealing our knowledge of the self. So by learning, by acquiring that knowledge, and through the instructions of acharyas, and practicing that, what we learned, then we start eliminating the karmic bondage. Then our knowledge starts coming up. Okay, it starts eliminating, not just coming up. It starts eliminating, as Lord Krishna is saying here. Any questions? No? Okay. Let's move on to the next sloka. Sloka 17. I'll start sharing my screen. Okay. Please chant. Tadbuddhayastadaatmanah
तद्बुद्धयस्तदात्मानः
तन्निष्ठास्तत्परायणाः
तन्निष्ठास्तत्परायणाः
गच्छन्त्य पुनरावृत्तिम्
पुनरावृत्तिम्
ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाः
ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाः तद्बुद्धयस्तदात्मानः तन्निष्ठास्तत्परायणाः गच्छन्ति पुनरावृत्तिम् ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाः. Lord Krishna is saying, Tat Buddhayaha, those who are meditating on that. That is that. Okay. Those who are meditating on that, that is having the Atma vision or self-realization. Okay. Those who are resolved, okay, in the vision of the self. Okay, I am, I'm focused on that. We are applying our buddhi, intellect on realization of the self. Okay, so that means we are meditating on that. We are meditating on that vision of the self. So that buddhayaha, those who are meditating on the vision of the self or Atma realization, tadatmanaha, tat atmanaha, those who are having manas, that is mind, engrossed in it. Okay, so I'm focused on it and I'm meditating on it, and our mind is engrossed in it. See, in the previous case, it is buddhi. Buddhi is talking about the intellect. Okay, And then second is tat atmanaha. Atma word refers to mind, manas. So those who are having the manas, again engrossed in the self-realization. Okay, that means those who are resolved. Tannistaha, those who pursue it. Nishta, people probably know. Those who practice it um, with discipline, right? Those who want to attain it. Those who practice it without fail. And they do all that is necessary to attain it. Okay? Tat parayanaha, those who hold um, that, that means that, right? Parayanaha as the supreme objective. So those who are treating that as their um, highest goal, that means again Atma. So tat always here referring to Atma or Atma realization, self-realization, Atma vision, you know. So those with their buddhi, manas, and nishta is practice with their body, right? They're always focused on self-realization. Those who consider self-realization as their supreme goal, Atma, attaining Atma as supreme goal, Jnana Nirdhuta Kalmashaha is those who have their sins completely washed away by knowledge. Jnana Nirdhuta Kalmashaha. Kalmasha is sins. Jnana Nirdhuta Kalmashaha is those sins are completely washed away by knowledge. Okay. Then what happens? Apunaravrittim gachanti. Attain the state of self from where there is no coming back. Apunaravrittim. That means I is the opposite, right? Negation. Punaravrittim is coming back. So they attain apunaravrittim is a state from where there is no coming back. That means they attain moksha, or they attain a state from where there is no birth again. So uh, with with our intellect, with our buddhi, completely focused on self-realization or just the self. That is the self. Then again, mind focused on that, and then practicing with the discipline, without fail, doing all that is necessary to attain self-realization, and keeping that Atma, attaining of the Atma as the supreme goal. Um, when we do that, having the sins completely washed away by the knowledge that we are focused on attaining and then practicing, having the sins completely washed out, that Atma reaches a state from where there is no coming back. Okay?
Question, Prasad Garu.
It,
It pertains to washing away of all sins by self-realization and attaining knowledge. How about those people that have really sinned bad, like murderers and people that have really caused great harm? And suddenly they get this jnana. How can they wash away the sin?
so they start their journey. Okay, it is not that they will suddenly go from 0 to 100.
No.
No vehicle can go from 0 to 100 in 1 second, right? So they have to start their journey. Everybody has to start their journey. So they will slowly start clearing their sins off. Okay, it's not like on day one suddenly they got book of Bhagavad Gita and then listen to Bhagavad Gita for 2 hours. They understood what is Atma, and then that's it. They will get moksha. It's not going to happen like that. Again, unless there is Paramatma's blessings, but there is it is everybody has to go through a process. That's why we are taking millions of births, right? Billions of births, not even millions. So those who are, they realize their mistakes. They realize, and then they get this knowledge. Let us say, need not be like one who is doing atrocities,
Yeah.
right? Just any regular person who doesn't have this knowledge, they start thinking that I am body and then commit all the not commit, and they just do the activities, karma,
Yeah.
that creates karmic bondage. So that
Right.
karmic bondage will keep us in this loop. So those who are doing bad activities, they get even worse. They get worse um, treatment, right?
Yeah.
So again, depends on whether sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic. They're doing tamasic activities with the tamasic knowledge. Then they will go down. We'll see. We'll see in future slokas what happens to those who act with rajasic. Who are instigated by the rajas guna. What happens to those, and those who are like they drink and things like that, and then they commit atrocities. They are in tamasic state. So they will have to. There's no. There's no. I mean, kind of go to a doctor, get the medicine, and get it cleared. It has to. They have to experience those karmas.
Okay. Thank you.
Paramatma does not have any bias. Like two people commit the same mistake, the government may not catch it, okay, but it is written for them. They will go through whatever they are supposed to go through, exactly same. I mean, if you take those independent activities independently, but no two people are equal. Like they do some good things, some bad things, and things like that. So based on their overall how they are acting, and how much karmic bondage they are acquiring, that will be in their, it'll go to their bank. And then when the next birth happens, they will be assigned certain karmic bondage based on whatever is there in their store for them. Need not be that whatever they do in this life is going to be immediately experienced in the next life. So there is absolutely no guarantee that as soon as somebody just listens to great message and then reads one book, then suddenly they get moksha. Now, what it says is you have to start the journey. That's why Lord Krishna says that start practicing karma yoga, and one day in one of the lives, then you will attain that state of moksha.
Thank you, sir.
So the goal here is tatparayanaha, means attaining the state of self-realization, attaining the pure state of Atma. Like uh, self-realization is kind of, we really don't understand that much. But pure state of Atma means attaining a state from which is not having any karmic bondage. Okay, so that is our goal. So clearing of our karmic bondage is our goal, nothing else. Like attaining, sensory pleasures, or having a long life and enjoying this nature world, relations and money and possessions and all that. No, goal is simple: clearing karmic bondage. That is my goal. That's it. Whatever I am doing, it's for that purpose only. So that is my goal. There are other things that will be like intermediate or derived goals. Like, okay, in order to clear my karmic bondage, I have to do my duties. I have to do my duties properly. And I may set goals for those duties. I will have goals for those duties. I'll try to work for them. But that is not my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal is, in fact, clearing of karmic bondage, attaining a state where I do not have to come back. Okay. So again, that we don't have to always think about it. We just have to say, okay, my goal is to perform karma yoga in this particular way. That is my goal, and perform our activities. Um, so doing everything that we can without fail, with discipline, with our mind engrossed in it. Not like mind engrossed in it is really thinking about it with active mind, not passive or just forgotten. Then with our intellect, this is the decision I'm taking. Intellect is always related to decision making. Why I am doing this, for what purpose, you know so that with that intellect I drive my manas, that is mind. That mind drives my body with nishta, with discipline. I perform the activities with a goal of self-realization or goal of attaining the pure state of self with no karmic bondage. So with uh, so then what happens is, then when we start doing that, our sins are washed away by the knowledge, by that knowledge, um, and we attain a state from where we do not have to come back again and take birth again. Okay, we'll move on to sloka 18. Share my screen. Listen, sloka 18. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne
विद्या विनय संपन्ने
विनयसम्पन्ने
Brahmane Gavihastini
ब्राह्मणे
गविहस्तिनि
गविहस्तिनि
Sunichaiva Swapake cha
सुनिचैव स्वपाके च
Pandita Samadarshinaha.
पण्डिताः
पण्डिताः
समदर्शिनः
समदर्शिनः
Let's chant together. Vidya
विद्या विनय संपन्ने
विनयसम्पन्ने
ब्राह्मणे गविहस्तिनि
गविहस्तिनः
सुनिचैव स्वपाके च
स्वपाके च
पण्डिताः समदर्शिनः
समदर्शिनः.
This is one of the very, very important slokas of the entire Bhagavad Gita. Very, very simple, but gives the inner meaning. Clarifies a lot of doubts for us. So Lord Krishna is saying, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini Suni Swapake Cha. Cha means and. Panditaha Samadarshinaha. Panditaha, you know that. Panditaha, wise people, learned people. Okay, those who have knowledge, those who are who have the knowledge of the truth. Okay, knowledge of reality. So Panditaha Samadarshinaha. Samadarshinaha see alike. What do they see alike? Okay, so Panditaha Samadarshina is in the last line. So Lord Krishna is saying these wise people see these as alike. Okay, so very important to understand here is Vidya Vinaya Sampanne. In the, see that A when it comes, right? Brahmane, Gavi, Hastini, Suni, these are Swapake, these are seventh vibhakti, in, okay, in them. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne is the one, in the one who is endowed with learning and humility. Vidya Vinaya. Vidya means learning, knowledge, and Vinaya means humility. So Sampanne, one who is endowed with. So in the one who is endowed with learning and humility, okay, Brahmane, in a Brahmana. Brahmana is a person who is born in that particular, category of people, who is considered to be, of Sattvic birth. Okay, Gavi, in a cow. Gau, so Gavi means in a cow. Hastini, in an elephant. Suni, in a dog. Swapake, Swapake is dog eater, in a dog eater. Okay, Swapake cha eva, and even in a dog eater. Okay, Panditaha Samadarshinaha. In all these, wise people see alike, is what Lord Krishna said. Unfortunately, some translations have missed the word in them. Okay, so it's very important because some translations, when in is missed, it says that these wise people see one who is a very learned wise person, one who is a brahmana, one a cow, elephant, a dog, and dog eater. They are all equal. That is what somehow was mistranslated. Okay, they're not equal. Like, how can a dog be equivalent to, say, a cow? One who is a dog eater is the one who is banished from society, one who is the lowest of the low, outcast. Okay, that is the difference. The dog eater is someone who is so low in the society because of lack of knowledge and suffering and things like that. So that kind of a despicable person, how can that person be same as Vidya Vinaya Sampanna? One who is one who has knowledge and having humility, right? Vidya Dadati Vinayam. No, so that is the highest level in the society, and like maybe a professor who is very humble, down to earth, very learned person, very sattvic. How can that person be same as a dog eater who is an outcast, who is having no knowledge what to eat, what not to eat, does all kinds of atrocious things? They cannot be
So,
same, right? So same way, dog cannot be equivalent to elephant or a cow, or a brahmana.
can
How can a person be equivalent to a dog?
can I ask you a question, sir?
Sure.
first thing that came to my mind, why they are
Mm.
equal.
Yeah.
In my limited knowledge so far that I have learned, they are equal because Paramatma resides in each organ, each species, each animal, each soul. Every animal has got a soul, and in that soul resides Paramatma, and therefore they are equal. Is that true?
So, uh, just in a, like, if you take it just what you said, right? They
Uh-huh.
are equal in the sense when you are saying that the bodies are equal, or Paramatma in them is equal.
Paramatma,
So
who
yeah.
resides
So
in their
typically,
souls.
yeah, typically when we are referring to all these, we are referring to them as bodies. The bodies are never equal,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Okay. So first of all, I mean, you are on the right path, right? So bodies can never be equal. I mean, first of all, two bodies, even human bodies, two animal bodies are also not equal. Every body is made up of different material,
Right.
different like, parts of Panchabhutas. So they are not same. The bodies are not same. So the difference, so here what Lord Krishna is saying is that seventh vibhakti, Saptami vibhakti is very, very key here. In them, a very learned person, in a brahmana, in a cow, in an elephant, in a dog eater, the wise people see them as equal. Means whatever is in them, they see as equal, not the bodies. They don't treat a dog eater same as a professor, right? At the highest level of learning, to one who doesn't have any knowledge at all. They don't treat them as equal. Okay, they don't treat a cow and dog as equal. When they're what they treat equal is what is inside them. So in the previous slokas, Lord Krishna said, those atmas, whose atmas, right? Like the so he referred to atmas. Each of these beings, each of these bodies have atma in them. Those atmas are all equal, is what these wise people will treat. They look alike. I mean, they see them as alike. Look alike in not in physically, right? They consider them as same or equivalent or equal. So these atmas in so any body that you take, like Lord Krishna gave a few examples here, from the top of the class society to the bottom of the society, you know. So in all these different categories of bodies, there are atmas in them. Those atmas are all equal. That's what the wise people will treat. That means, who is a learned person? The learned person is the one who sees them as equal, is what indirectly Lord Krishna is saying. I am wise, Pandita, Pandita. If I am seeing all of them as equal, not the bodies. I don't felicitate a dog eater, right? Make them sit right next to a professor and felicitate them. No, but I I will not. Oh, just because all animals and the people are equal, let me get a lion and a snake and put them in my house. And they just, yeah, they have Paramatma in them, but we don't see the bodies as equal. The bodies have certain characteristics. Those are not equal. The what is equal is Atma in each one of them. It is not that one Atma in all of them. It is Atma in each of the bodies is equivalent to Atma in another body. Okay, so that is when Atmas are same, so we know that Atma resides in a body, right? And bodies are different, but Atmas are same. Same in the sense Atmas are equal in nature, okay, in their pure form. So now the question comes, why did they get different bodies? If Atmas are all equivalent, why did one Atma get a dog body compared to a cow body, or to a Brahmana, or to a highest of the land person in the society? Why did each one of them, each of these Atmas got different bodies? They are due to Prakriti. So they're like, the differences are only in the bodies. In other words, we have to see, right? When you see a dog, or when you see a cow, when you see a human, there is definitely a difference. The difference is not in Atma. The difference is only in the body. And these different bodies are obtained based on guna and karma. Okay, so very, very important principle, equivalence of all Atmas.
Sir,
Now,
can I?
Basically, we are saying that the animals also have atmas. Is that?
yes,
Oh, okay.
any object you see has Atma in them, not just living. Okay, so you take a mountain, it has Atma in them. So any living, non-living body has Atma.
Got it.
Sorry, go
Thanks.
ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry
Varaprasad
for the
Gaurasan.
interruption. Kalpana, go ahead.
Yeah, so we don't, need to go to discuss that. But the reason I'm trying to really gain that understanding and knowledge is because there is a lot that's ongoing right now related to Sanatana Dharma. Those that are knowledgeable and educated are, it seems, trying to prove or say that everybody is equal. That is our Sanatana Dharma. And it seems to me that the sloka is totally aligned with the Sanatana Dharma principles.
Yeah, Bhagavad Gita is Sanatana Dharma.
Okay, thank you so much,
There's
Prasad
no,
Gaurav. Yeah, so this is Sanatana Dharma, and it's totally aligned.
Yeah, Sanatana Dharma is eternal Dharma, and Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all Vedas. And Vedas are the first, source of everything is from Vedas only. Everything has been derived from Vedas. The Vedas existed even before humans existed.
Right. So in this sloka, although an example of a human being as Brahmana, and then there are other atmas such as cow and elephant and dog, but within the humans, Bhagavan didn't really bring up like Kshatriyas and other divisions, right? Other aspects of souls, other souls.
So it will come later, but basically we take birth based on what is suitable for us. Okay? Most fundamental thing. People forget that if someone who is not a sattvic person, okay, who is rajasic or tamasic, if you assign him sattvic activity, it is like hell for them.
Okay.
Someone who is rajasic, assign them sattvic activity, hell for them. Take a person who is sattvic in nature and assign them rajasic, it will be hell for them. Imagine someone who faints by seeing blood, okay, who cannot see anybody suffer, who is so sensitive, right? I'm not talking about gunas in terms of what is defined in Bhagavad Gita. I'm just talking in regular, life, our life. Such a person, you make them a doctor or a soldier, will they be successful?
No.
So then why do you want to say that even that person has to become a doctor or a soldier? It, when we are assigning, when we are recruiting somebody to become a doctor or a soldier, these are certain basic things that we'll check, right? When we are recruiting someone for to become a law enforcement officer, we don't recruit somebody who's corrupt. Things like that. So there are in even in our like I gave this example several times. For a company to function, not everybody has to do the programming. Not everybody is a, financial analyst. Not everyone is a some manager, right?
Yeah.
Some everybody has their roles and responsibilities, and people are working in those role duties. The people are taking those jobs based on what is suitable for them. Okay, we don't say that, hey, one guy who is a programmer, who is comfortably doing programming, just because he's a human being, he can also be CEO and put them as CEO, and then they'll suffer. The company will suffer. The entire everybody in the company will suffer. So it is in order to run this society at a very high level, it is divided into certain roles and responsibilities, right? Divided into, like, if you're a company, you need different types of people, some receptionists, some programmers, some people who handle clients, who are managers. There are several roles that are in the company. Same way in this particular, in our society, there are different roles. Somebody who can protect people, somebody who can produce things, somebody who can teach, like someone who is interested always in working in a farm, asking him to, okay, you have to wake up early morning 4 o'clock and study Vedas for 8 hours. That's what they do. They, you cannot go out, you cannot talk to anybody. You just have to sit there and just memorize Vedas for 8 hours. They'll go mad in 2-3 days. So it is so a type of a guna. A guna is suitable for this kind of a job compared to that kind of a job, right? So someone, for example, like Arjuna, uh, his guna is more suitable to become kshatriya. He cannot go and start becoming. I mean, if he wants to do it, as maybe he can try, but he will not be successful. So there are we are all driven by our gunas. First, we need to develop our guna. Then we have to we can join that particular job. Like first, I have to become like a soldier. Then I can join join a soldier job, right? I can't I can't be studying books 24 hours for 20 years and suddenly, okay, now a soldier job is there, let me apply. It pays me $20,000. Okay, let me apply and join in that job. I'll immediately fail. I have to develop the guna of that, whatever is needed for that particular. So based on the gunas, our janma is designed. Okay, so all have equal opportunity to succeed. All have equal opportunity to reach Paramatma. It doesn't mean that only a Kshatriya will reach Paramatma, or a businessman will reach Paramatma, or a Vedic scholar will reach Paramatma. There is no such thing. Whatever duty is assigned, if we do it with karma as karma yoga, then the person is going towards Paramatma, right?
Mhm.
So there, even like very lowest of the class. Again, these classes have been designed. Unfortunately, in some cases, they are associated with money, right, and power. So those are certain things that might have come up, but there are definitely in order to run the society, we need different categories of people, and those categories are all based on the gunas. Okay, and people take advantage of the situations. It need not be in a society. People take advantage within a company, right? Bosses take advantage of subordinates. Uh, so that is there all over the place. It has nothing to do with Sanatana Dharma or anything. Okay, but most important thing is Sanatana Dharma says that we are all Atmas and we are all equivalent. We got these bodies based on our guna and karma. Has nothing to do with somebody else. I got, again, this is what is very, very important. The previous sloka said, right? I got somebody who is suffering, let us say. It is not somebody, somebody else's creation. They are born into a particular family with suffering. Okay, so it is their gunas and karmas that gave them that kind of a birth. They need to understand that, and they need to do their activities. Even such a person also can clear their karmic bondage. It's not that someone who is not born into that kind of a birth cannot clear their karmic bondage. They can clear their karmic bondage too. Okay, so unfortunately, atmas are taken out, karmic bondage is taken out. uh, it says that okay, entire somebody is suffering or mistreated is because of Sanatana Dharma. Has nothing. There absolutely no relationship between Sanatana Dharma. Actually, as you said, teaches the opposite. Okay, but it does not say that eliminate every uh, category in the society. It cannot say that, because in that case, then you don't need any say for example, you're applying to a job. You don't need any qualifications. You just pick up 10 people randomly from the road and then assign them programming. Pick up 10 people from the road and then say, okay, you become client managers. It's not going to work, right? They need different kind of qualities. So it will not work for the society. It will not work for the for that person also. But they should not feel bad about whatever job they're doing. Okay, so and even someone who is like a in order to run a particular event, for example, like let's say big event is happening. There's one person who is on the stage felicitating the guests. Okay. There's one volunteer who is always on the stage felicitating the guests. There's one volunteer who is taking care of shoes. Okay. The one who is volunteering to taking care of the shoes does not see any of the guests. I mean, the important guests that come, right? They don't see. They're simply just looking at the shoes all day. The guy who is on the stage will be like felicitating, like say prime minister, president, chief ministers are coming, all the IAS officer, or all these executives are coming. They're doing that activity. The guy who is taking care of the shoes can't think low of compared to that person who is felicitating the people. Both activities are equal. They have the equal opportunity to reach God. You just have to do them properly. The one who is doing it, putting the garlands, thinking that I am so great, I'm putting the garland, on a president. The guy he earns so much karmic bondage that maybe will be suffering for lot of lives. The guy who is taking care of the shoes says that this is the duty that is assigned to me, and I am doing it as a service of God. Will clear all the karmic bondage. Now, who is in a better stage, right? Who is better? The guy who is taking care of the shoes is in a better stage.
Better state. Yeah.
But unfortunately, those who do not know any of these concepts, they think that the guy who is putting garlands is the, is the, what is it, top of the society, or these people who, just because they are born in this particular thing, they are putting the garland. I want to put it. This person who is putting garlands is, is mistreating the guy who is taking care of the shoes. It is actually the opposite, unfortunately. The guy who's putting the garlands, most likely they are not, they'll be thinking they'll have ego and all that concepts, if they forget Sanatana Dharma. So they are earning more karmic bondage than the guy who's taking care of the shoes or taking care of chairs in the event. I'm using this as an example. So you can't, again, just because, anybody can, let's switch the jobs. The guy who is taking care of the shoes can go into the stage and then do it. It may not work because the guy who's taking care of the shoes may be so afraid to go onto the stage, right? If you ask me to go and talk in front of a president and all the dignitaries, I will not be able to do, even if you want to give me $1 million, right? And whoever came there will also be, not happy with it. So then why do you want to do that, such a thing, which is not beneficial for you, not beneficial for others, and it is not even taking you near Paramatma. So there's no point in doing such a job. Do the job that you are comfortable with. Okay, so yeah, I'm not prepared to answer that question, but just giving the examples based on the knowledge that is in Bhagavad Gita. People may say, oh, Bhagavad Gita and Lord Krishna said, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Kshatriya, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra. He mentioned the words, right? So Lord Krishna is promoting the division. It is not. It is basically giving 4 classes of the society that have to work together in order to be better for the entire society. And each of them requires certain different kinds of skills or what is it, characteristics of the person, or different knowledge should be there, different skills should be there in order to become that particular role, right? Your abilities should be different. One who is a soldier should not be afraid to hurt somebody, even if they don't know, right? I mean, they have to go and fight with the enemies. They don't know that enemy at all. Like, why are they fighting? A guy who is sattvic will think twice, and then will get immediately punished by the other opposite side. If you delay by 1 second, that's it, right? So people have to be prepared, and that preparation comes only with the gunas. It doesn't come by just placing somebody in a particular job and say, okay, you can do it. Not the 2 people from society, different parts of the society with different backgrounds, different gunas, different family backgrounds, different gunas. You cannot take those 2 people and put it in the same position and then say, oh, I expect the same thing from you. Difficult. So typically doctors, children becomes doctors because they are seeing it from every day, from their childhood. Soldiers, children become soldiers, right? So things like that, which is natural. Has nothing to do with Sanatana Dharma or nothing wrong with doing that. So here, very good question. Important thing is to identify that all the Atmas are equal. They're equivalent in their pure form. That means when there is no karmic bondage covering the Atma. Okay, they're not kind of um, impacted by the karmic bondage is occurring because of the prakriti. Right? I mean, karmic bondage is there. Then they have gunas that they are acquired again from coming from the prakriti. So because of that, they are different, right? Compared to another body that so no two bodies are equal when you combine each of them with the prakriti. So if you remove the prakriti, that means if you remove the differences in body, if you remove the karmic bondage that is derived from the prakriti, because they took birth in again and again in the prakriti nature, they acquired karmic bondage to that. So if you remove that, there, if you remove the gunas that are acquired from prakriti again, if you remove that, then you have the pure atma. Pure atma in all beings, all human beings, all animals, all trees, mountains, you can name any body in this universe. Wherever the Atma exists, that Atma, that individual Atma, is equivalent to another Atma, is what Lord Krishna is saying very clearly here. Okay. So just because they are equivalent, don't get the body and then put it like, don't treat two bodies as equal. They have to see them two different ways. I mean, that's what I was saying. Like the that seventh vibhakti, saptami vibhakti was missed in some of the interpretations, knowingly or unknowingly. So, and then when it is translated from one person to another person to another person, it appeared as if they are all equal. The bodies are never equal. When you add the prakriti to the atma, the total combined body is not equal compared to other body. Only when you take out the prakriti, take out the effects of the prakriti on the atma, that pure atma is equivalent to any other atma. And though it is not directly given here, I just want to mention that that atma is, that pure atma is equivalent to Paramatma also. Equivalent, not say, not same. The knowledge of the Atma is equivalent to knowledge of Paramatma. Okay. So it does not become God. If an Atma becomes God, then it will be two gods, right? No. So Atma will remain Atma, will be pure Atma, is equivalent to Paramatma. Atma will continue to do the service to Paramatma. Same principle applies to Atma. So today we are doing service with this body. I'm Atma, body is the instrument, I'm doing service to Paramatma. Whatever activity that I'm doing it as service to Paramatma. Tomorrow, when I'm not affected by this Prakriti, I don't have this body, but I will have a divine body. With that body, again, I will be serving Paramatma only. In fact, that is the stage to which we have to go. Today, it is all good in the, when we are doing, lectures like this and things like that. As soon as you go to this thing, okay, what's in it for me? I'm enjoying, it's my self-enjoyment. So until that goes away, we will not reach that stage. So Paramatma is a kind of not, we cannot fool him, saying that, oh, for 10 minutes, I'm really thinking I'm doing service to you only. Give me that job, right? Like somebody says, 10 minutes I can do the programming. Now give me a job. But there you have to do programming 24/7. So you'll not be successful, right? So Paramatma knows who is really capable of serving him, without interruption, who always uh, do any activity as service to God. Maybe at that time he will decide, okay, let me give that state. But till the time, I mean, this particular sloka says we are all equivalent. The forms that we have are body forms, not Atma forms. Atma is, the form of Atma is knowledge. That knowledge is equivalent to any other Atma and also equivalent to Paramatma. Okay, so they're all distinct Atmas, distinct from Paramatma. Paramatma, of course, we'll learn more about Paramatma, but all the other categories of beings, Atmas in all these categories of beings, are all equal. But because of the Prakriti, association of Prakriti, they got different bodies. Okay. Okay. Now we'll move on to sloka 19. Listen. Ihaiva tairjita sargo
Ihaiva taijjita sargo
yesham samye sthitam manah
yesham samye sthitam manaha
nirdosham hi samam brahma
nirdosham hi samam brahma
tasmat brahmani te sthitaha.
tasmat brahmani te sthitaha
Let's chant it.
ihaiva
Ihaiva
taijjita
tairjita
sargo
sargo yesham
yesham
samye
samye sthitam manaha
nirdosham
nirdosham hi
hi
samam
samam
brahma
brahma
tasmat
tasmat
brahmani te
sthitaha.
sthitaha
Sthitaha. Okay. So in the previous sloka we learned that all are multiple atmas, all distinct atmas, and all atmas are equal. What is different is all the differences are because of Prakriti. They got different bodies. Okay. Lord Krishna is saying, Yesham manah samye sthitam. Yesham samye sthitam manah, he said. Whose mind, Yesham, whose mind is firmly established in the equality, samye, in the equality. The statue of equality is actually, that is one of the, all of you are aware, statue of equality in Hyderabad. This is the concept that we want to, which is there in Bhagavad Gita, which Bhagavad Ramanuja wanted to propagate to everybody. So Sri Swamiji is doing that, spreading that knowledge. So we are all equal. We are all equal in the sense, not the bodies, not when we took the birth. No, we are like, say 10, 15 people. It's not that we are 10, 15 people are equal. Like a man is not equal to him, a woman, and a child is not equal to elderly person. Bodies are different, but the Atma are all equal. We have equal opportunity to reach Paramatma. That's what we need to see. That's what is equality. So, whose mind is firmly established in equality of Atmas? Iha eva taihi jitah sargaha. Even here, in the current state of practice, karmic bondage is conquered. Okay, whose mind is firmly established in the equality of Atmas, uh, that person, even here, while practicing this state of, the whatever this equality principle, karmic bondage is conquered. Jita Sargaha. Sargaha is the samsara. Okay, that is because of the karmic bondage, this cycle of births and deaths. So by those who treat these atmas as equal, by them the karmic bondage is conquered. Nirdosham hi samam brahma. Nirdosham is untainted. Okay, untainted by prakriti. So atma that is not tainted by prakriti, samam brahma, is equivalent to Brahma. Okay, so Brahma word, Atma, Paramatma. Okay, is you can refer to the Atma, individual Atma, or you can, it also means God, depending on the context, right? Here, because they are all equivalent, and we know that we can treat that Brahma as either any other Atma, okay, or Brahma. So Brahma, that is God. So Atma that is not tainted by Prakriti is equivalent to any other Atma that is not tainted by Prakriti, or Paramatma who is never tainted by Prakriti. Okay? So Nirdosham hi samam Brahma, tasmat te brahmani sthitaha. Therefore, tasmat is therefore, te means they, brahmani sthitaha, firmly established in Atma. So self-realization, Atma, we have, our focus is that Atma which is not affected by karmic bondage, which is cleared of karmic bondage, is cleared of sins. So we are firmly established in that Atma. Okay, when are we clear, firmly established? First, we need to know that there all Atmas are distinct. Each body in this universe has an Atma. That Atma is all these Atmas are all equivalent. When we practice this principle of equivalence of Atmas, then we then we will get we are firmly established in Atma.
Firmly established in Paramatma, the Brahma means here Atma, our.
Here, firmly established in ourself. Okay, so in ourself, in the sense that I want to clear my karmic bonds.
Yeah.
Right? See, why are we suffering? That question comes.
Karmic bondage.
Why are we suffering? If I think that somebody else is causing my suffering, then totally wrong direction. Okay, so we will basically rotate in this world, okay, of having hatred and and that is bias and all that stuff, right? So we will be happy with those who treat me well, or those who do not treat me well, we hate them, and then we go in this loop, right? So we see suffering, or we see differences in this world. When we see the differences in this world, when I see I am having some limitation, obviously, some problems. Everybody has problems, limitations. When they're going through that, what do they think about it? Like they, if they don't know about Atma, right? They think, they try to blame themselves or they blame others, or they get into this cycle of running after the pleasures. Okay, but one who has knowledge of the self, one who knows that in my pure form, I am equivalent to Paramatma. Then what do I do? I will not reach this state again. So that would become my goal, right? So those who think that, oh, somehow they are mistreated, like if I know that all this suffering, I mean, even the guy who is the richest person on this earth, I don't think they are having as happy as some people who are very poor, right? They will have their own problems. So all these sufferings that we are having is all because of the contact with Prakriti. Okay, in my pure form, my knowledge is going to eliminate so much. I mean, I'm not going to have any limitations, restrictions. I'm not going to have any of these sufferings. Okay, then I will be, my goal will be to reach that state. Right? So whenever we see some suffering that is happening, immediately I'll think, oh, I don't want to be in that state. Right? There's no difference between me and that deer which is trying to cross the road and gets hit by the van and suffers for a long time. There's no difference. Only difference is that it got that kind of a body which experiences so much suffering. Okay, compared to that animal, human life is better, but still this also has sufferings. So I need to reach then I will understand I don't want that kind of a life, especially that kind of a life uh, which has so much suffering. Or even in human beings, we look at people who are affected by droughts or terrorism or some other, all kinds of issues that happen. I don't want to be in that state. There is no difference between myself, Atma, and the Atmas that are in those bodies. But they are going through those sufferings. I don't want to be in one of them. Okay? So then what do? You will establish yourself in the Atma. You are not, your focus will not be on, yes, you will, if your duty is to take care of that situation, you will do that. I'm not saying that you'll totally become recluse and go somewhere else. Karma Yoga says that whatever is your duty, you have to do it. But as soon as we see something, then we immediately recollect that, oh, this is say, for example, someone is very rich, having good health, but I am, let us say, not that rich, right? Suffering. What I should think is that I'm suffering because of the karmic bondage that I got. So I have to clear the karmic bondage. The other person doesn't have that karmic bondage, so they are able to enjoy. I am suffering because I have karmic bondage. So I need to clear the karmic bondage. So then I will focus on myself only, right? So tasmat brahmani te stitaha. So I'm established in Atma. In order to see, Basically, when we are established in Atma, we'll also be established in Paramatma. We'll come to that. Because I cannot clear karmic bondage by myself.
Yeah.
Paramatma is the one who is going to do it. We didn't come to that stage yet, right? So we'll learn slowly. So first of all, again, I will not lose my identity. Even when I reach the state of reach that state where I'm not taking birth, I will still not lose the identity. So first, let me focus on clearing myself. What are all the tools and techniques that I need to follow to clear my karmic bondage, to get out of this situation? Paramatma is one of the tools. That's a Bhakti Yoga. So is a means. But he's the later we realize that he's the only means. Everything else is we are doing our duty. That we'll learn later. So, but he's the one who asked us to do all these things, who asked us to follow Karma Yoga, we'll follow Karma Yoga. With the support of Jnana, so we'll get Jnana. So, with that, we are focusing on clearing ourselves so that we don't get into this cycle of suffering. Okay, so, sorry, did we see? Okay, 9:33. Okay, so that's why we are firmly established in Atma is the right meaning there. The Atma which is not tainted by Prakriti is equivalent to another Atma which is not tainted by Prakriti. That is, you can treat that as Brahma, or it is also equivalent to Paramatma. But it does not become Paramatma. Right? We both are equivalent, but we will not combine into one. Right? We do the same job. We have the same knowledge, let us say. I mean, in case of Paramatma, the job is also different. So same knowledge is there with us. Okay, but I decide to serve Paramatma. Paramatma does something else. He does the creation. I don't do the creation. So, but knowledge is there, but I'm not interested in doing all that. It is Paramatma's, he takes care of that. Okay, so we finished sloka 19.
19.
17, 18, 19. 4 slokas. Anything else? We'll conclude it, concluding prayer. कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि श्रीमन्नारायणायेति समर्पयामि सर्वं श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु ॐ अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः जय श्रीमन्नारायण
Jai
जय
Shriman Narayan.
श्रीमन्नारायण
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Jai Shriman Narayan.